I got to tell you, my blood has been literally boiling. You could actually see my veins popping out of my head and how upset I am after reading that great piece of Matthew Hall on The Guardian entitled, I made a bunch of notes here, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with me. There's going to be a lot of things I want to cover. It will be, as I said, an epic message. It will be a message that will be loud and clear. So sit down, grab something to drink, focus on the fat boy here, and I'm going to give you all I got. Here we go. So, Matthew Hall's piece entitled, We're Second-Class Citizens, Why MLS and Canada Benefits Everyone Except Canada. Oh boy, when I saw that and I read it, I tell you, I'm so glad that last week I spoke as I did about Canadians, the CPL, jobs, on and on and on. This fits beautifully right into there. So let's get into it. I made a lot of notes and my blood is boiling, but I want to get my facts straight. And I want to look at you right in there. Right out there, I want to look. And I want to give you out there from my heart a plea to listen. All the Canadian people out there that love the game, that care about the game, that understand what a 4-4-2 is, that understand what the game is. Not some people sitting around a boardroom, different provincial bodies, local clubs, academies, that are just there to help out. That's great, but you don't understand the game, move along. Push away to the side. So let's get to it. So as I shared last week on my Twitter, sources that confirmed to me, and it was speculated, yes, the CPL project has been successfully started going, and it looks like 2018 will be the kickoff. Let's hope. A lot more work still to do, but that first phase is done. And based on a lot of people's reaction on my Twitter, on Nick Sports Star, on many people all over this country, it has awakened people. It has given people hope that want to coach in this league, that want to play, that want to work as administrators, as trainers, on and on. It has given them hope. And I will continue on this train. I won't stop. So as we said, Matthew Hall's piece was fantastic. Canadian Soccer and CONCACAF President Victor Montoliani stated in this piece, Canadians are treated unfairly by MLS. They are treated as an international player, no different than any Brazilian, Italian, Honduran, or Nigerian. There's not much more for me to say there, ladies and gentlemen. Is there? No. All right. So let's get to it. They've swallowed up, this is MLS, over roughly, approximately about $100 million in expansion fees from 3 Canadian clubs that they've allowed in their, I like to call it, exclusive club. And this exclusive club, look, I'll put the cards on the table. I've said this time and time again on my show. Don Garber, you're an outstanding commissioner for your league, MLS. You, with expansion, have hit it out of the park. You've done a great job trying to promote and do the best you can for your league. So I applaud you for that. You've gotten a lot of interest all over the US of A, Minnesota, Atlanta, on and on. You've done a great job. Drogba in Montreal, Jovinko here, Kaká in Orlando, Pirlo in New York City FC. They came here. So well done to you and your staff for doing that. But now the gloves are off. Now the gloves are off. Our 3 clubs boast some of the biggest attendances in MLS. Our 3 clubs, I just said to you, the players, 2 of them anyway, from Montreal, Drogba, Jovinko here in Toronto. Vancouver has never shied away from dishing out big bucks for players like Morales, on and on. All sorts of players they've dished out money for. They pack them in there. Montreal has a wonderful Saputo Stadium. Joey Saputo, hands down for me, the best owner in MLS. He talks the talk, he walks the walk, and he understands the responsibility. I've always said that. Joey puts his money where his mouth is. Here, MLS and E, thank you. I've said this a million times. Thank you. Jovinko, Bradley, Altidore, Defoe, Dero, on and on. You, MLS and E, take a bow. Well done, well done, well done, well done. I've said it time and time again. Time and time again. Well done. Let me ask you this. I thought about this today. Costa Rica. How much money does Costa Rica make for MLS owners? Think about that. Think about what I just said. Think about that. Because here in Canada, these owners, these 3 cities, make a lot of money for MLS. A lot. Okay, let's get some facts straight here. In a league, 15% of its clubs hail from the Great White North here in Canada. Not even, let's say, 5% of the league's players come from Canada. You mean to tell me that's fair, Mr. Garber? You mean to tell me that's fair? Not a chance it's fair. Let's talk about Atiba Hutchinson, a legend in Canada. Unfortunately, we never got to see him in the Hex or in a World Cup for Canada. Here's a guy that I would love to see play in MLS. But how many hurdles does he have to jump? Many, because he's a Canadian. Not only that, let's put the cards on the table. A guy like Atiba Hutchinson would never be paid the proper amount that he should be making because he's a Canadian. He's not an American. An American of the quality of Atiba Hutchinson would get almost double, I can guarantee you, what Atiba Hutchinson would get, or if he was offered a contract. Guaranteed, you book it. You book it. Look, I'm a big supporter of all three MLS teams. A big supporter. I've always said that. A huge supporter of their youth academies as well. And the work they've done developing young Canadian talent. TFC's done a marvelous job. A real good job the Whitecaps have done. Look at the youngster last night, Davies. What a player. Montreal Impact, they're sending players over to Italy and France. Some of their young kids. They've done a great job. An outstanding job. You know, to me, it's just mind-blowing. Look, if I recall something that TFC General Manager Tim Bezbatchenko said, and thanks to Tim Bezbatchenko for being honest and putting the cards on the table, our players are less desirable for U.S. teams. We put a lot of money into our academy system, but the players we are developing have limited roster spots. If there's an additional restriction, that is an impediment for those Canadian players to move to the U.S. Boom! Thank you, Tim. As an American, thank you, Tim. Look, reading that piece yesterday in The Guardian that Matthew Hall put, it got my blood boiling. And folks, you know, I got to tell you, it's got to be crystal clear, even more crystal clear and critical to all us here in Canada that love the game. Coaches, technical directors, academies, clubs, provincial bodies, the CSA, everyone has to be on board united. We need our own league. We need our own league for Canadian players, Canadian coaches, Canadian administrators. Let me ask you this. How many Canadian coaches are down south coaching in MLS right now? I bet you not even in one hand I could count how many Canadian coaches are in MLS benches. How many are in NESL? Not many. None that I can think of, maybe one or two. How about the USL? We need to take care of our own coaches. They've got to go to small countries and try and beg and plead for a job. They've got to go to second, third tier teams to try and go about the job that they love so much. Look, I'm begging all my loyal viewers, supporters, people that love the game in Canada. This is important. We need to get excited about the CPL. I'm going to tweet out some more news that I have about the CPL. So stay tuned. I'll do it at the end of the show. As soon as I'm finished, I'll tweet it out. We need to all be on the same page. It's critical. It's important. It's vital for this country. It is so important that we all get on the same page. Let's forget the past, what's happened in the past. We need to move to the future. This league, once it gets off the ground and going, this will not be, as a lot of you naysayers out there are saying, how's it going to be different than the ones in the past? Oh, it'll be much more different. Much more different. This isn't going to be a 1 year, one and done type of deal, or a 2 year, done and out. No, it ain't going to be like that. I know for a fact it's not going to be like that. It's going to be stable. It's going to be well structured. It's going to be with people that have very, very deep pockets. It's from people that care about the game, business people that have their hearts in the right place, communities that want a team. And you out there, put your money where your mouth is, because when it is time, and the time comes that the cities are announced and they ask for you to put deposits down for season tickets, don't waste, because this is our last chance. This is our last opportunity. Our last opportunity. Let me ask you this. Bill Manning, Tim Bezbatchenko, front office staff at TFC. No bones with them. I mean, they're trying to do the best they can to try and get TFC, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, a title. And I wish them nothing but success. Bill Manning, a lot of respect for him. He's got a background. He's got a pedigree. He's done wonderful things in MLS with Real Salt Lake. Tim comes from the office. He's a guy that understands all the ins and outs of the numbers. So I have no issues with them. But again, here in the city of Toronto with TFC, it's stacked with Americans. Stacked. Stacked. You know, something about the Montreal Impact that I love and I respect, it's not stacked with Americans. Vancouver, I would say it's not stacked either. And it's not that I have a problem that it's stacked with Americans. I have no problem with that. And I wish them nothing but success, and I'll tell them to their face when I see them again. Nothing but success. But I want some opportunities for our Canadian people. I want an opportunity for Canadians to be general managers, presidents, to run an office, to put a budget together for a team, to go out and sell season tickets, to stir up interest. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want this league to go toe-to-toe with MLS. Toe-to-toe. Maybe not in the budget. Maybe not. Maybe so. We'll wait and see. But I want this to go toe-to-toe with the MLS clubs. Yeah. You can laugh all you want out there. I believe that they can go toe-to-toe. Because if Canadians are given a spot, if Canadians are given an opportunity to show what they can do, day in and day out, 90 minutes full, they'll surprise you. They will absolutely surprise you. So, having said that, we'll close that out with simply this. A lot of you are still upset that I'm trying to promote an American for the position that has become available, but I knew this from already after the game that he was Gonzo Floral. Thank goodness it's official today. But a lot of you getting upset that I'm trying to promote an American into this position that's available now. I'll tell you once and for all, I want the best person available. But a Canadian, unfortunately, is not that right now. Let's be honest out there. Let's brutally be honest. They're not ready. As an assistant coach for me, I've been thinking about it all day today. I'd love to see a Julian de Guzman. Speaks Spanish. Now he understands CONCACAF because he's done it not once, but twice in San Pedro de Sula. Here's a guy that I would love to be on the bench as an assistant with a Bob Bradley, with a Bruce Arena, with an Osorio of Mexico. That's my choice, simply put. Let's put away these egos and this crap. Oh, Anthony, he's American. We don't want him up here taking our job. Hold on. The national team, I discussed it the other day, is totally separate from the CPL. The CPL, guess what? American players, you're not wanted up here to play in our league. Sorry. And if you are wanted up here, I hope that once all the rules are put in place, that they make it just as difficult for you as it's been for our Canadian players. Now you're going to see how it feels, because when MLS clubs cut you, when NASL clubs don't pay enough, and you come knocking on the door of Canada for a job, guess what? You're going to have to go through what our Canadian kids have gone through for years. Chew on that a bit. A couple more points and then I'll let you go again on my rant at the beginning. Most of you know out there that I've been part of League One since day one, alongside Dino Rossi, great work with Ron Smale, the president, Melissa McKinnon, who does great work, Johnny Misley, who also oversees everything, gives us the guidance, gives us the tools, leaves us alone. And I'm going to tell you, I'm very proud in the 3 short years that off the top of my head, I think, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Dino's going to kill me. But I think it's about 30 to 35 players that have gone on to pros and leagues overseas and in South America. And this puts a smile on my face and all involved in League One Ontario. But can you imagine if we have our own league coast to coast, what smiles and what dreams we can make happen for young kids that are coming up from youth clubs and academies? It would be unbelievable. Look, lastly is this. The CPL is a reality. It's a reality. And look, I'm going to tell you, it's going to happen. And it's not going to be one and done. It will happen. And look, I urge Mr. Garber. I urge him. And again, I've complimented him on a lot of things he's done great for the American player, the American coach, the American cities, the American first and foremost. And God bless him. That's what he needs to do. Good on him. But I urge him to show, Canadian soccer the respect it deserves. It's important. It's vital. Like we said, I think I put the stats out there. What is it? I think 15% of the teams in the league are Canadian. Okay? So we should do much better than 5% of the players signed by the league, playing as Canadians in there. To me, it's vitally important. And then if not, then look, Victor Montoliani, president of the Canadian Soccer Association, should be considering to exercise the leverage they have to do what they need to do to force MLS to sit up and pay attention. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm tired of Americans coming up here taking jobs. Tired of it. And yeah, they're good at it. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve to have the job up here. No problem with that. But now it's our time to take care of ours. I've seen the USA go to World Cup after World Cup after World Cup. And I said this 2 World Cups ago to many U.S. counterparts down south here on my show. I believe the USA will get to a Final Four in a World Cup whether in Russia or in Qatar, they will get there. I believe truly they will. They've done great things, outstanding things. So to me, this league is vital. It's important. Tweet me at Totera. Throw me your comments. Let your provinces hear you. Let your local clubs hear you. Let the CSA hear you that you want it. And I'm going to tell you, right after this show's done, watch my Twitter. I'm going to tweet some more news on the CPL that my sources gave me.